Hey everybody, episode 4 of WandaVision has come out. I've watched it and there is a ton to talk about, so let's get into it. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm putting the spoiler warning up because this is one of those episodes where I just don't know how I could accurately review it without getting into spoilers. And we're going to start off with what is probably my favorite part of the episode, just from a personal bias part, the beginning. We start off with the episode seeing Geraldine coming back from the snap that we see in Avengers Endgame. And she's in a hospital and people are unsnapping or reverse snapping, whatever you want to call it. They're coming back. They're undusting back into existence. And there's just chaos all over this hospital as people are just coming back out of nowhere. And the reason why I'm really enjoying this is because this is something I was really wanted to say from the MCU. We kind of got some discussion about it in Spider-Man Far From Home, but because Spider-Man Far From Home is lighthearted and silly, they took the more comedic view of people just suddenly snapping back into existence. And this is the part I've wanted to see, the part where we address, the chaos and the drama that would come from suddenly half the planet's population coming back. So this part I was really enjoying. As brief as it was, it's only, 2 or 3 minutes long, but I was enjoying it. And also this reveals to us who Geraldine really is. And turns out she is the little girl from Captain Marvel, the movie. She is Monica Rambeau, daughter of Maria Rambeau. But now she's all grown up. And not only is she all grown up, but she is a agent of S.W.O.R.D., which is a SHIELD-like organization, except they only deal with stuff in outer space for the most part. But we also find out that her mother was the the founder of S.W.O.R.D., but unfortunately she died in the 5-year gap that we had between Infinity War and Endgame. So, things kind of get off real sad. But I'm really enjoying the drama here. In just the first 5 minutes of this episode, we're adding all this new information to Monica, once again, who was referred to as Geraldine before, and we're getting to know her a whole lot better, and, little tidbits of what it was like when, during Endgame, Professor Hulk snapped everyone back. So yeah, this opening 5 to 10 minutes, I was really enjoying it. So much going on, but all fed to us in a way where, you understand what's going on. Unless you didn't watch Avengers Endgame, then you'd be a little lost. In Captain Marvel to a degree, but I think Avengers Endgame would be the bigger one to understanding what's going on here. But anyway, so Monica's back, and after like a few months, she decides she wants to get back to work, and she's given her first assignment on S.W.O.R.D., but it's a terrestrial-based assignment, aka it's on Earth, which once again, it's not what really S.W.O.R.D. is about, but I guess with S.H.I.E.L.D. gone, sometimes they gotta take what they can get, especially after, the events of Endgame. You never know what's going on Earth with aliens. There she meets Agent Wu of the FBI, who we first met in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And they're investigating this town, which, according to the local police, doesn't exist. Even though these police are supposed to be from Westview, they say they're from Eastview. So there's some kind of amnesia going on, because despite the fact that people think this town doesn't exist, the town is right in front of them, with a big sign that says Westview. And so this starts to add to the mystery. This is like, okay, wait, is this the town where WandaVision is taking place? Is this where this, she did not create an entire town, she altered the town to the sitcom way. And we soon find out that yes, because there's this energy field surrounding the town, and when Monica touches it, she gets sucked into it. And after that, Agent Wu calls in other S.W.O.R.D. agents, the army, anybody who would want to be involved in this and to find out what the hell's going on. And then we get Kat Dennings' character from the Thor films back, and she's there for the physics part. And holy crap, there's so much going on in this damn episode. So hard to cover. But Kat Dennings' character, who I always forget what her name is. Her name is
Darcy, you idiot.
So Darcy is able to use her science genius to figure out that there is some energy pattern emitting from this field, a cosmic background energy pattern. And she's able to find a signal in it, and the signal is, a television broadcast. She's able to tune in and watch the WandaVision show, and she sees Wanda and Vision in the 50s, and they're watching the show, and they're doing all this stuff with the agents, and her and FBI agent Wu, they're figuring out the other characters in the show are actually people who lived in the town, and they're acting different according to the sitcom. So they're figuring, it's like what we've been going through for the past 3 episodes, they're now doing catch up on. And it's kind of fun to see these other characters, like, go through what we were going through. Like, what's going on here? Who's causing this? Wait, that's Vision. Isn't Vision supposed to be dead? It's fun to see them, go rapid fire. So what we've been talking about on, like, message boards and to our friends and family about. So yeah, once again, I'm really enjoying this episode so far because it's like, this is where the meat of the story is for me. The mystery, figuring out what's going on, unraveling stuff, all that. Because as I've said before in my previous reviews, what's really hurting the show for me is I'm not enjoying the sitcom stuff. And also, as I've said before, it's not because I'm unfamiliar with these eras of sitcom, 50s, 60s, 70s. Like a lot of kids in the 90s, I grew up watching the Nick at Night block on Nickelodeon. So, I'd watch Bewitched and Gilligan's Island, all that stuff. So, and I still catch some of these shows nowadays, and I'll still enjoy them for the humor that they have. And I think I recently figured out why I'm just not digging the sitcom parts. So part of the fun for this is that, by today's standards, a lot of the jokes, skits, routines, and humor of the sitcoms that they're trying to give tribute to is that they're very corny by today's standards. And you can find it humorous in how corny they are. But the reason why they're corny is because, well, they're old. They're old sitcoms. And back then, that was considered legitimately funny. And that's why I think it's not working for me, because those old sitcoms, they were being genuine, where what they're doing in WandaVision, it just feels like a simulation. It just feels like them attempting to recreate that type of humor, and it just doesn't work because it's not genuine. It's them trying to, like, I don't want to say copy and paste because it's not exact copy duplicate thing, but yeah, I think that's why it's not working for me. It's not genuine. I mean, and I know they're genuinely trying to make it like a 50 sitcom, but I think that's why it's not working for me, because it's them trying to be corny. Those old sitcoms weren't trying to be corny. They were trying to be funny because that humor fit that era. On top of the fact that, once again, I'm more interested in the mystery. So I'm feeling like so far, I mean, right now this episode is really picking up for me. Like I said, I'm really enjoying it. But I feel like thus far they should have either condensed episodes 1 and 2 or just relegated the sitcom stuff to in-between skits between the mystery solving, That's how I'm feeling so far. Things could change. We still got 5 episodes to go. But I think that's what's going on with me here so far. So yeah, and as the episode moves forward, we see some of the things that popped up in WandaVision. We see that the little colored helicopter that Wanda found in the bushes was a sword drone that transformed into a 50-60 style helicopter toy. We see that the beekeeper guy we saw was a sword agent in a protective suit, but when he entered the WandaVision universe, his protective suit turned into a beekeeper suit, because I guess they didn't have those, like, suits back in that time period. And then we see that Agent Wu was the guy on the radio in episode 2 that was trying to contact Wanda. So we start to see all these things come together. And finally, we pick up to where we left off in episode 3, where Wanda realizes that Geraldine, aka Monica, is not from here, and she pushes her out of this world. And we got to see this. This is cut from, what we saw in last week, where first time we see Wanda using her powers naturally. It's not like the, old era special effects style. We see that red energy of hers and doing her, like, hand movements that we've seen from the movies. And she suddenly adopts this whole different personality when she realizes that Monica is a threat to this reality. And she, energizes her through several walls across a field and out of the reality bubble. And that's when we realize that it really is Wanda. There's a lot of fans have theorized, and some, theorized more than others because of elements of the comics they're using, that this reality bubble is Wanda's, and she is in control of it. Though I do have to admit there were some personality shifts in these moments where, after Wanda threw her out of the reality, she had this moment like, wait, what? And then she fixes the holes in the house that she created. So it is possible that Wanda may have some kind of split personality issue going on here, where, like, there's the personality that is just enjoying the sitcom life and is just in somewhat denial of what's going on, and then maybe there's a protective personality that comes out when that reality is threatened. Once again, this is just a guess, but that shift there was a shift in personality that I saw there. The final thing to talk about is what has really been burned into the minds of the viewers of the show, and that is zombie vision. We see in one moment right after Monica has been ejected from the reality, Wanda looks at Vision and he looks dead. He has that hole in his head from where Thanos ripped the Mind Stone out of his head and when he died in Infinity War. And we see him, but he's walking around and talking to Wanda. And then she and then boom, his face is back to normal. So the question has been asked, is this really Vision? Is he back from the dead? Or is this some kind of reality construct that has been created by Wanda? Okay, this isn't Vision. This is just a Vision illusion. And it appears to be that it is Vision, or at least it's Vision's corpse that's been reanimated by Wanda. And that does make some sense. Wanda got her powers from the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone was the power and life source for Vision until Thanos ripped it out of him. So it would make sense that her energy could bring him back to life to some degree, especially since she destroyed the stone that first time. So this is getting really creepy and even weirder and sadder. That is this whole thing to bring Vision back. Was the only way she could bring him back was to create this reality. If Vision steps out of it, does he die again? Is this the real Vision? Has his mind been completely restored, but she used her magic to, mask him from what's really going on? Because we see him bouncing in and out of figuring out that something's wrong. So yeah, this episode is really good. It gives us some answers. Once again, the new characters, Darcy, Monica, Agent Wu, we get to have these moments with them where we get to learn more about them, or we get to see them going through what we've been going through the past few weeks, trying to figure everything out. And we finally do get some answers. Though there are still some questions left to be open, is this completely Wanda? Is this completely her thing? Or is there still another force we haven't seen yet that is acting against Wanda that made her do this? She seems to be in control of this reality, but maybe there is something else that's influenced her to do this, because she just hasn't created this little reality for her and Vision to live in. She's literally kidnapped normal people and forced them to play along in this reality. And that really makes her seem like the villain. And she kind of is. She is the villain of this story at this moment. But is she a villain of her own making, or is somebody else, once again, influencing her? We'll have to see as we move forward. But yeah, I'm... the past few episodes, I've been it's like that line from Django Unchained, where it's what was it? At first you have my curiosity, now you have my attention. It's like that with me right now. Where the first several episodes, I was I'm kind of, oh, I like that, but all of this is making me, I'm a little bored. But after this episode, I'm actually not just interested. I'm excited to see what happens in next week, and I hope they continue to integrate more of what's going on outside this reality bubble and what's going on inside. I think the more mix we get of that, the more satisfying the show is, at least for me. As I said in my first review, I know a lot of people are loving this show right now from episode 1. I wasn't one of those people. If you're loving it, hey, cool, man. Once again, I wish I'd been loving it since episode 1, but now I'm good. I wish it hadn't taken 4 episodes in for me to get it. I know some shows sometimes start off a little rough, but I think this one really did drag a bit. And it's not because I wanted it to binge it all. That's another subject that's been coming up with WandaVision, where some people they should have just released it all at once. Screw week to week. I am fine with binging or watching week to week, but the show has to be structured properly, for week to week or for binging. And the showrunner, Jack Schaefer, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, said in an interview that when they were putting the show together, he wasn't told whether it was going to be week to week or whether it was going to be released all at once. And I think that adds to some of the pacing issues that people have been having with the show thus far. Plus, he really seems to have an affinity for making the sitcom aspect work. And, I prefer, once again, I'm not digging it that much. But I'm based on that interview, I'm seeing why there have been some issues for me. Once again, I know there's a lot of people out there who are digging it, but after reading that that interview, yeah, some things are making sense to me as to why the show is set up the way it is. All right, that's it for episode 4 of WandaVision. Let me know down in the comments what you're thinking. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? What do you think of some of the reveals we had in this episode? I mean, I thought there were some really cool reveals in this, and really put a smile on my face and got me excited. I mean, holy crap. I mean, people have been complaining that the show is dragging. The episode, I watched it just the other night. I felt it was only like 10, 15 minutes long. Everything was moving so quickly. I was like, holy crap. And I was still able to process everything. I was just like, time flies when you're having fun. And I was having fun with this episode. But anyway, once again, let me know down in the comments what you're thinking. If you want to do me a solid and click that subscribe button so you can see more episodes, helps me, helps you, helps all around. Anyway, take it easy.